This is the most recent snapper that I got, Snapper Ninja, with the adjustable intake recycling air. This is a 6 horsepower Briggs & Stratton engine, and this is electric start. It needs a battery. Runs really good, except the self-propelled, after I was using this for a while, is really slipping on here. There are 2 belts on this. There's a drive belt underneath the engine that drives the pulley, and then there's a belt that you activate the gearbox in the back to activate the self-propelled. And there's also a ring for the self-propelled. We're going to replace that as well. Drive ring. Looks a little different than before. This originally had the wrong bag on it. It had a white bag. I left that on that Snapper push mower and actually had an extra bag. So I've transferred that over to this one, and that Snapper push mower actually had the correct chute. I transferred that over too because this had a little pulley here which pushes out your rope so it doesn't hit the bag. So it looks a little bit different. Same mower though. So this will be a series of replacing all 3 of these so we can get the self-propel back going again. Very nice mower. I'll show you underneath to show you the first belt we're going to replace. And this is the main drive belt we're going to replace underneath here. I'm sure it's the original. It's got a loose, kind of loose. Generally it's best to replace both these belts when you're going to replace them. And this is the second belt here with the grooves in it. You can see this is the one that I can see slipping as part of the self-propel unit. It's pretty well stretched, and I've maxed out all the adjustment I can with the spring here. And we're also going to replace this drive ring. Here it is worn. It still has some rubber left on it with this new replacement. So it's really best to replace the 2 belts and this drive ring all at the same time. That should correct and make this self-propel unit work like it should. So the first project here, we're going to replace this main drive belt for the Snapper Big 6 here. We're going to start by taking the side chute off and the blade from underneath. And for safety, we're going to remove this spark plug boot and make sure it's out of the way here. So the blade is off. It actually looks like it's in pretty good shape. This is a Ninja blade. We're going to sharpen that. And next we're going to secure this engine with a bungee cord and remove these 3 mounting bolts so we can slide the engine back to get this belt off. So the engine mount bolts are out. The engine's secure. We can just slide this engine forward and pull this belt right off. And now we can flip the lawnmower back around and get the belt off the pulley. And this 1 bolt underneath this frame will have to be loosened and taken off. I've cleaned this with a wire wheel and put some penetrating oil on it. This will remove the pulley so I can get the belt out from under. And this is the pulley that bolt holds. It needs to be taken off and pushed up so I can get the old belt out from underneath. And also I need to remove this tension spring. And removing that tension spring, I can now lift up this disc and get the belt out from under here. And the belt is now off by working it out from under this pulley. And with the tension spring off, you can just slide it back out from under here. And here is the old belt and the new. And you can see, if this shows, it's pretty well cracked and pretty well stretched as well. And here's our new belt. It's going to make a world of difference just replacing this. So now we'll do the reverse of this and get this belt back on. And the new belt is back on by putting it under this drive ring with the tension spring off. It's now underneath the pulley. It's also running around this tension pulley here back to the engine. So we're going to tighten this pulley back on here, and then we'll get the belt onto the engine. And we have our new belt installed now. Got the engine tightened back up, and we got a lot more tension on this brand new belt here. Also tightened back the bolt that holds the drive wheel. And the blade is back on. We got our new drive belt on. Let's give this self-propelled a try with the new drive belt. So now I want to test this out with the new drive belt that were replaced. I still have the self-propelled belt and the drive ring to replace on this Big 6. I put the chute back on. Of course, I put the blade back on, sharpened, in the bag. So let's give it a start and test it out. And we'll give a little bit of prime here. It's been a little while since this has been started. Give it a little bit of throttle here and make sure it's in low gear. And got the handle tied back. See how easy this will be to start. Warm up a little bit, so it's sitting a while. Try to self-propel. First gear. That's working. That feels better. Let's put it in high gear. One more throttle. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. Much better. Still going to replace the belt and drive ring. Like the Ninja blade cuts pretty well too. That is the main drive belt replacement.